All right. So, Beth, why don't you just kind of share the pre and post workout stuff, and then
Hmm.
we can go on to Q&A.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm gonna preface this as people doing like a normal-ish workout. I know there's one person who's normal-ish. Any type of movement is good. I don't want to. I don't want to say normal or not. Um, I know somebody's training for a longer distance. It's a triathlon, marathon. What is it?
Iron Man, Sarah's.
Ironman. Yeah. Okay. So Ironman. I'll talk about that. So a little bit of specifics on that later. But so what I'm going to just reference here is a workout here. I'm a visual person. So this type of format helps me kind of see and go through it and then plan and then like prep what I'm doing. So that's why I do it this way. If it works better in a different format for you, awesome. But I know sometimes just to either watch or like take notes on, this is how I organize it in my brain. Um, so yeah, so there's that. But from this, the goal would be that you guys can take this and then set up your routine to just execute it over and over again. Because it's not hard to do once you figure out the little timing things, because it's the little things that make a big difference. And what I have found over and over again for women is that like we're focusing on the wrong things, you know? We're focusing. I'm doing like a free 5-day challenge right now, and I had a gal literally ask. She was like, "So I have a work event on this week, and on that day, should I just not eat fruit and then have the wine because wine is made from grapes, so that's fruit." Right? And I can see how she's like really thinking and really trying and like, I really want to do this. I want to do this right. Yeah, I totally get it. Have both, you know? Just, it's fruit, it's fine. It's nice, right? Okay. It's the little things like that that like that's the wrong detail to focus on. Getting the right stuff in the right timing is a bigger detail to focus on that's actually going to get you a result. And then having that glass of wine doesn't matter. Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Also, if the audio sounds weird, let me know if you feel like there's a feedback or anything. I don't know. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay, good. Okay, so workout here, a typical workout, if you're not training for a crazy person race, no, an Ironman or something. Typically a workout is going to last anywhere from, we'll just say anywhere from 30 to 60 minutes, right? If you're doing a workout for, oh man, I'm running late, or I got my 15-minute, 20-minute power walk in today, that's all I could manage, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. Do you need to do all the workout prep things for a 20-minute walk? Meh. You know, I would say, my question would be, how do you feel? So I'll talk about those other extremes after I do like the middle ground one. This will be the main one to go to. Okay, I'm going to the gym. I'm going to a class. I'm doing my thing. What do I do for that? Um, so my workout is 30 to 60 minutes long. Where should my focus be? All of those things. So before that, and this is anywhere timing wise, anywhere 30 to 60 minutes before the workout, you're going to want to make sure you get in some type of food. Now, the food can be, you're going to need, if you work out at 5 a.m., you're going to want a little something in your stomach. Doing a fasted workout is actually really, really hard on the female body. If you look at any research, if you look at any of those other things about burning more fat when you're fasted, all done on the male body, 100% of it. Just like everything else, right? As we all learned. Oh, more research on men? Oh, weird. Okay. So food, this doesn't have to be a lot though. This can be a half of a bar, right? Half of a shake. This can be even like peanut butter toast, half of a peanut butter toast, half of an apple with peanut butter on it, something. But the thing about this here that you'll notice is that with whole foods, with having something in your stomach, you want more carb than protein. One of the biggest things that when you're working out, that the female body gets depleted in rather quickly is glycogen from your muscle tissue. So to have energy during the last 30 minutes, I should say, if you're only doing a 30-minute workout, will you notice a decrease in glycogen in your performance? Maybe not. But during that last 30 minutes, you will. Meaning if you're like, oh my gosh, I'm really trying to work harder, I want to get stronger, I want to lift a little heavier, I want to get more definition, I want to get tone, all that stuff. And I find that I'm really struggling at the end of my workout. You need to fuel properly. That's a fueling issue. And again, we're told if you eat less, that's better. No, opposite. Your muscle tissue needs that glycogen in it to have that energy. When it has the energy, it can push harder. And the goal and the game here that you're playing with your body when you're working out is you want to have that breakdown and build up as quickly as possible, as much and as quick as possible. And that's just not something that naturally happens as easily in the female body. Fast breakdown, fast build up. So to have that fast breakdown to build up, you need to have the energy to work it, to break it down. You can't lift an extra 10 pounds on anything, if you don't have the energy in your tissue to do it. Your muscles are literally just like, this isn't like, oh, I maxed out, blah, blah, blah. This is like, I'm shaking and I'm holding, 5-pound weights or something. And you're like, God, why I just don't feel that strong. I don't feel that good. You got to have that food in before. You'll find the right thing for you. You don't want too much that it upsets your stomach, right? Like if you're doing like a class, interval training, right? For those of you that teach, I know Brooke used to teach, right? I don't think you still teach, but I mean, you don't want to like eat a bunch of spaghetti and then go for an 8-mile run right away. Do you guys ever watch The Office? When Michael Scott like ate all that pasta and then was like running for rabies? Sorry. Not what you want to do, right? The carbo load right before the race with Alfredo. So too much. That's too much. My favorite thing is I will do like half of a shake. Just because it's quick, I actually have it in the car because I'm usually running late wherever I'm going. Or I do a bar or a couple of protein balls, something like that. Something quick, something fast. If I'm doing something really early on the go, if it's a little bit later, I'll do toast, something like that. Totally fine. And then give your gut a little bit of time to process it, break it down, because your system absorbs carb pretty quickly. It'll absorb carb, within an hour. So it gets that energy right there to use. So your body's not going to crap out, basically. Yeah. Well, biggest mistakes I want to say that you would make with this is that you would get worried about the calories of it. I don't care. Nope. If you're fueling your system correctly, you're going to be able to push it harder during your workout. The more you can break it down, the faster you can build it up, the more you're going to increase your performance and overall up level your metabolism. We get this idea in our head that like our metabolism is like a switch, it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off, it's on, it's off. Okay. But more than that, you want your overall metabolic rate to rise, right? You do that through this type of a process over and over and over and over and over again. Breakdown, build up, breakdown, build up, and increasing that capacity overall. So having something before. I never recommend fasted cardio for women unless you are prepping for a bikini show. And those women you're like dehydrating yourself. You're not drinking water going into these things. It's not a healthy thing to go through. Those practices aren't things that are healthy for the female body to do on a regular everyday basis. So these are absolutely sustainable, overall healthy, overall will get you the right result. Now, anywhere from 15 to 30 minutes before, this is where I do a pre-workout. Now, I don't use a pre-workout every day. I only focus on a pre-workout during days 15 through 28 of my cycle. So here is, I'm going to show you, let me get my electrolytes in. I've done like a bazillion videos today. Staying hydrated. Nope, not that one. This one. Nope, this one. Proton on my canisters. So I'm going to show you what I use. There are other good products out there, but again, when you're using a product, this is a tool, and this is designed to add to what you're already doing. So again, if you're not getting the food, I don't care about the pre-workout. If you're not going to eat properly afterwards, this isn't going to be the difference maker. This is only the difference maker if you're already doing all the other basic things. And it's more important that it's a clean product than anything else. Artificial colors, artificial flavors, artificial sweeteners will break down your gut bacteria more. So it's going to be working against you in your overall health than actually helping you. So this is a brand I like, use, and trust. And it's a clean line. They don't have any artificial stuff in it. And it's gluten-free, it's dairy-free. Yeah, so this is their pre-workout thing. It's called Nitro. I don't know why they call it Nitro. Probably because it's supposed to increase the nitrogen, blah, 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 in your system. There's a lot of different things that you can add in. I'm starting with the basics right now for this, just to make sure it's not like, we don't need to make it super complicated. There's like a step process. This is like step 1, incorporating the right things. Okay, for step 2 or 3, we could add other things in a sequence to improve upon, but it doesn't make sense to pile it on at once, right? So things you're looking for and things to think about is that this has a couple of things in it, a creatine and a beta-alanine. And that's really common for a pre-workout, creatine and beta-alanine. So the beta-alanine is what's going to give you that like face tingle, like, oh, right? You guys know what I'm talking about? Where you're like, ooh, I took a pre-workout, I'm jacked up, I'm ready to go, yeah, right? This is, it gives you a little bit of a boost, we'll say, a boost. And yeah, so that's the beta-alanine. The beta-alanine, it gives you those face tingles because it's a really big blood vessel dilator. So it's opening up the blood vessels more so that more blood can go to the muscle tissue. Again, faster breakdown, faster buildup. So when you have more blood vessels opening and blood is circulating in your system faster, that allows oxygen to circulate faster, all the nutrients to circulate faster, all those other things. That's going to make you have more power during your workout. So you feel like a boost, right? Is it yeah, like, because sometimes people are like, oh yeah, this is, oh, I feel that boost, I feel that rush of energy. That's why I'm working out harder. No, it's not the energy. It's literally your blood is going more places, faster. That's also going to help with the repair side of things later too. Creatine is also known. Creatine is like one of the oldest nutrients that's been used with workouts. Been around the longest. And some people worry about it holding water weight in the muscle tissue. Yes, it can hold more water in the muscle, but that also helps increase the overall mass of your muscle, which then in turn, right, gets you that increased metabolic rate and helps with that build back up phase. So creatine and beta-alanine in a pre-workout, very common, and this does help you bust through a workout better. Now, with some of these things, if you're using any type of creatine and beta-alanine or pre-workout product, maximum consistency would be 8 weeks. You could use this every day for 8 weeks, and then you should take a break. I prefer to use it just days 15 through 28. This is during the progesterone phase of my cycle. I mean, I might use it on days like 1 or 2, maybe 3 as well, depending on how I'm feeling, right? If I'm like, God, I really need to get this workout in. I've got it on my schedule, or I'm working out with somebody else or something. I'm like, ooh, it's going to be a good one. I will definitely take a pre-workout to bust through it, but I don't take it every single workout. I don't take it every single day. And that way my body is not going to acclimate to it or get used to it, where I would have to take a 4-week break. If you're going to take it for 8 weeks, you have to take at least a 4-week break. But with just using it with my cycle and my hormones, I'm actually helping my system at that time. And at this point too, with progesterone, your body is already increasing in blood volume, right? There's more fluid in your system. It's harder for it to get around. So it actually helps you feel better overall, I've noticed, than when you're using it regularly and be like, oh yeah, I'm working out 3 days a week pretty hard, so I'm going to use this those 3 days a week. And you're like, yes, this actually feels much better because my system's just circulating the blood easier because my vessels are dilated more. They're opened up more. So not necessary, but if you do use that, this is just my favorite way to use it. And I have a lot of women that get really good luck with using that. And again, you can just keep working with your cycle that way. Like, oh yeah, I'm gonna use it during these days, not have to take a break from it for an extended period of time. And I can really focus on this then when my body's not naturally having as much energy anyway. Super. Estrogen phase, energy abound. Yeah. So I feel like that balances it out. All right. So you got your food in, you got your pre-workout in, great. You get to the gym, you're ready to do your workout. Now, you guys are all mostly younger. So warming up and cooling down, very important. As you age, if you get over 35, actually, if you spend 60 minutes working out, you should spend 30 minutes doing some type of recovery. Who has that type of time? What? Yeah. This is how to really take care of your body, and how to this is, again, these are extra things that help you. Where should I put my focus? If you're like, well, dang it, I barely get 60 minutes to work out, then I would really work out for like 45 minutes and recover for 20. Yeah. The recovery is going to be stretching, helping your lymphatic system drain and flow, right? Helping your body cool down and really, really recover. That's actually going to get you a better result in terms of being able to advance your fitness level again and again and again. So if you're training for something longer and you're like, oh, I got to go for a 2-hour run, you're going to have to do an hour's worth of recovery, an hour's worth of stretching, yoga, Epsom salt bath, all the things of recovery. That's where, allocating your time and focus, essential. So always do some type of warm up, especially if you work out in the morning, to get up and just like walk in the gym cold and start cranking on weights. Yeah, beefcake, ooh, that's going to start to wear on your joints, your body, everything. So doing some type of warm up, get your blood moving, right? You should get your heart rate up a little bit, be breathing a little harder, and feel warm, feel warm when you start hitting your workout.
I want to say something real quick.
Yeah.
I want to say something real quick. If you came with questions, or as she's talking and you have questions, post them in the chat. Okay. Yeah. So I want this to be interactive too. And so if there's things that are coming up, you already have a question, or based on what she's saying, put it in the chat and we'll make sure that and Beth, can you see those? We're on your end too? The questions.
Has anybody posted one yet?
No, but can you see the chat?
Yeah, I can see the chat.
Okay, good. Yeah, so I want to make sure that we're getting your answers,
your questions answered.
Yeah,
oh, for sure.
Yeah, so
for sure.
You ladies, I just want to direct you to post in the chat so you don't feel like you have to interrupt. So You can
Yeah.
breeze through this. It's really good. There's like great nuggets here. So keep going.
Yeah. Okay, so warm up, do a good warm up, hit your workout, and then make sure you have enough time for your proper cool down. And the reason I wanted to talk about that is that when I talk about the cool down piece of it, you know, you want to have the right stuff there. You want to have your, you know, recovery stuff there if you're still at the gym doing your stretches. You know what I mean? If you're still, you know, you do your workout and you're like, okay, I worked out for an hour, so I'm going to take 30 minutes to cool down and do my post-workout recovery. That lymphatic drainage is really important for your muscle tissue repair, for your hormones, everything else. That will really help you, like literally start to boost your metabolism better when your body's recovering better, because you're bringing those cortisol levels down and your body's not reacting to stress. Trouble is we just don't make the time, or we're not told. Sometimes some of my favorite workout classes, I mean, they just don't do that. Like they're like, oh, what? I'm like, yeah, I come early and I will jump rope before I start. And then I stay after. Like the next class starts, the next boot camp class has started. I'm over there rolling out, you know, still like pacing back and forth, getting my heart rate down, doing all these other recovery things. People are like, don't you have to go? I was like, no, I'm not done yet. I'm not done with my recovery yet. Like, but these things do make a difference. So if you are, you know, like if you're going to be at the gym for another 30 minutes, you got to bring your post workout stuff with you to have, so it can be like boom, 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 get the fuel in for the recovery. Okay. So the workout piece there at 30 minutes, if you're doing a 60-minute workout, at that 30-minute mark, you need to have some type of electrolyte and sugars. Doesn't need to be a lot of sugars, but just some type of sugars at 30 minutes. This will help your recovery. This will help mute your cortisol response at 30 minutes. And so anybody who's training for something longer too, you need to keep this in mind, that at 30-minute mark, 30 to 45-minute mark, you got to have some type of sugar. Some people do gels, goos, all that stuff. The best thing, honestly, is maple syrup. Unless you're going to run with a little flask of maple syrup, take chugs off of it. You can put it in your drink. Water, a little bit of maple syrup, some electrolytes in there, shake it on up. There you go. Get your sugars in at that time. And if you're going for longer distances, you're working out for 2 hours or more, you're going for a really long hike or something, every 30 to 60 minutes, then from there on out, you should be having some sugars. That's going to help your system keep your cortisol down. Are you going to notice it when you're doing it? No, but you'll notice that after, your recovery is just speedy. Recovery time zips around so fast and you're not going to get drained. If you've ever done a really tough workout or gone on a really long like bike ride, like a 3-hour bike ride or something, right? And you're like, oh, I'm drinking water, I'm staying hydrated, blah, blah, blah. And you come home and yet you're totally wiped out then the rest of the day. You're just worthless the rest of the day. And you feel like puffy and like, oh, that's that cortisol response that your body's reacting to. And you could have muted it down by just getting these sugars in. So if I'm going to go to a boot camp class or something and it's like, oh, it's like a 45-minute workout and they do a little bit of a warm up, right? Then sometimes I won't necessarily worry about it as much. Only if I'm like for sure doing a 60-minute class, I absolutely get something in my system to keep my body going. And listen to your body. Post workout. So it takes about 15 minutes for your body to figure out. So you've stopped the workout. Class is done. It's all over. It takes 15 minutes for your body to figure out that you're not working out anymore, and then to start the recovery process. Right? It takes about 15 minutes. And my recommendation is that at 20 minutes post, you're getting at least 20 grams of protein. So here are a few of my favorite things just to make everything a little bit easier in these time frames. With this as well, there's another thing. So there's 2 ways to do this. I'll add this in here because there's 2 ways to do this. And you might notice you like one more than the other. During a workout or during this recovery time, during this 15 minutes here, this is where you'd have branched chain amino acids. You can have them in with your, you know, like, oh, with your drink. Oh, I'm adding my branched chains in here. I'm sipping on them during my workout. I'm getting them in. Branched chains are really easy because they just get absorbed right into your system. They don't have to be digested, broken down. They just right up in your bloodstream, right up into that muscle tissue to initiate that repair. That way, the second you're ready to go through that recovery, it has that nutrient available there. So this is what I like to use. Again, totally clean, no artificial anything. The other thing I really like about it is that they include the proper milligram of the branched chain amino acid. You need to have at least 6 grams. That's 6,000 milligrams per serving to actually have an effect on the muscle tissue. Sometimes people will say, oh yeah, just do, you know, oh yeah, it's a branch chain, but there's only like 3,500 milligrams or 4,000 milligrams. That's not enough for that muscle tissue repair. So that's another, it's a little detail that makes a big difference. If you're gonna do this, like don't, like doing half of it doesn't do it. there's a threshold. So if you're gonna do a branched chain amino acid, and again, you can do it here or here, either one. This is the basic. You can do right here. Now, at this point here, getting this at least 20 grams of protein, this is my favorite go-to. I have a shake. They're in packets. I just dump it in. So I'm at the gym. I use the same water bottle. I will take 2 water bottles. I'll have one with water and one with electrolytes. And then I will do right after everybody's like chatting and doing their thing, I fill up my electrolyte one again with water at the gym. I put my branch chains in there and I have my protein. Is that redundant? Some people might say so, but this gets absorbed right away. This takes a little bit. So I'm for sure telling my body, hey, you got this repair happening right away. And then as soon as my body cools down, it's got this slower trickle of protein coming in. So my body still has this response. And it really is important. So again, think about the timing. Are you working out at a gym? Are you working out at home? You know, if you're working out at home, it's right there, it's available. But at a gym, you know, how long is your drive? Are you going to shower there? All that stuff. It really makes a bigger difference if you, I have all this stuff there. I have my water bottles there. I mix it up right there, and then I'll sit and do my cool down piece as I'm sipping on this. Makes the biggest difference with your body's ability to respond to the workout that you just did, to really rebuild that muscle tissue, everything else.
So a couple of questions. Yeah.
Yep.
You see that?
Ooh, lymph drainage. Yeah. Ooh, Lyme disease. Okay. Lymph drainage, maple syrup, and Lyme disease. Okay. What good questions. I love it. Okay. Lymph drainage. So a lot of times for like lymph drainage, if you are doing a general lymph drainage for just like body movement, any type of light bounds. So I sometimes do jump rope. Easy jump rope. I'm not like doing it for heart rate, just easy jump rope. Going for a walk. Walking is lymph drainage for your system too. That's an active lymph drainage. And then dry brushing. Yes, mini trampoline. Mini trampoline, absolutely. Yep. Should I write these down? Do you want me to write these down? Yeah. If you can get your lymph is, I feel like I could talk about this for an entire hour, just lymph. It's so important and no one talks about it. No one even knows what it is. Under your skin, it's like a layer of water, right? Everybody, oh, my lymph nodes. Yeah, like your lymph nodes get really puffy and swollen when you get sick, right? If anybody's had mono and they look like right here, yeah, that's your lymph nodes. You have lymph nodes everywhere in your body, in your armpits, behind your knees, in your groin. Those are like big nodes. Those are the channels that drain all this lymph, but it's everywhere in your system. So for a lot of people, like stuff gets stuck in it, right? And even though you're sweating and even though you're working, your heart is pumping the blood. Nothing pumps lymph unless you make it move. So doing things like a trampoline, that says trampoline, doing walking, those are the active ones, and then dry brushing. When I am in heavy training mode, I honestly, doing regular dry brushing, game changer for my leg recovery. Game changer for my leg recovery. I mean, I was an athlete for a lot of years, really hard on my body. So if my IT bands get really tight, my quads get really tight, my knees hurt. So to keep all that tissue fresh, right? It's like, it keeps everything fresh. It's like a fish aquarium. You want to change the water, keep the water clean, right? Fish are healthier. It's the same thing with your body. It's that water in your body. Got to keep it clear and clean. And it's such a big difference in terms of tissue recovery, nutrient flow, everything else. Okay. I forgot one of the other questions again.
Those are good tactics too, even outside of training. So all that lymph conversation, that's even outside of training and exercise, pre-post workout. That's just lifestyle detox, right?
Yeah.
Daily detox stuff.
Yeah. I do things to lymph drain my face. I had somebody ask me, they were like, "Oh my God, you don't have any wrinkles." I was like, "Well, I do, but like, I don't have I stay hydrated." But one of the things that I do is I use like jade rollers and stuff. When I started doing that, I had people start complimenting, "Oh my God, your skin, it just looks so fresh. What are you doing?" Lymph stuff. Huge difference. Some of you are too young to care about it, but I'm just saying. Dude, start it now and you're gonna look like you're 18 forever.
I want you to share which one you use. There's so many out there. You should post the link in a second. The jade roller.
Oh yeah.
Does it matter?
I'll post it.
Yeah,
I mean, you can get them on Amazon for like $15. Little roller. Okay. They're, and they tell you how to do it. It's not hard. People are just like, I didn't even know that was a thing. Oh, it's totally a thing. It feels good. And like when you start doing it after a week, you'll be like, is this different? Am I crazy? No, it'll be different. Totally different. So, but again, lymph, super, super good for you. Yes, right there. Yes. Get some jade rollers. Oh my God. The entire group is going to be like, oh my God, are you guys all using filters? No, this is my skin now. This is how I look now. Amazing. Oh, maple syrup was the other question. Maple syrup, it's at least a couple of tablespoons. It's at least it's like at least an ounce of maple syrup. There's a Vermont-based company. They make little gel packs and it's just maple syrup. I'm going like this, like I'm eating it, But the hard thing about those gels is that those are they're made with maltodextrin, and it's like a sugar bomb in your gut. And so here's the thing. This is like basic physiology, right? And how when I talk about anything for health for the human body, I always like to talk about how the human body works first, and then we use the tools to help work with that, right? So these are this is a tool. Branched amino acids are a tool. Getting sugars in is a tool. And you have to get the right tool. Using a concentrated gel, something that's like that maltodextrin, that like sugar, it's a gut bomb of sugar. When you're working out, your body sends your blood supply to your arms and legs because that's what's doing the work, right? It's not in your digestive system. Whereas majority of the time, like you eat, a lot of the blood and like 70%, 80% of your body's energy goes to your gut for your body to digest. Isn't that crazy? That's why when people eat Thanksgiving meals and totally blow out their gut in terms of what it's supposed to hold for capacity, everybody just is like, oh my God, I'm so tired. Yeah, your body's working triple overtime right now, trying to process and digest that. All the blood flow goes there. So when you're working out, the blood flow is not in your gut. And if you put a huge sugar bomb in the gut, there's no blood flow to help it. There's way too much sugars there, and it's going to give you indigestion, gut rot. Sometimes runners will just get diarrhea because your system will be like, nope, get it out, move it out. Not good for us. So sometimes people can use honey, right? You can use a honey stick or something too, but maple syrup is like nature's perfect thing, which, you know, just like a couple of tablespoons of it is enough sugars to combat that cortisol, but to also, it's not too high, it's not high on the glycemic index. It's not a sugar gut bomb. Your body absorbs it really naturally and easily because it's actually low glycemic index, but it's still sugars that does the trick. So this beautiful balance, all these other gels and goos and all those other products that get made that are super fancy dancy, you know, is they have the right idea, but how they do it doesn't work with how the body works. You know what I mean? You need to have that low glycemic index for it to actually be, you know, effective. You make your own, like you make your own maple syrup? Really?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's amazing. Oh my God. That's so cool. Put it in a flask, go on a run, throw it back. You're going to get pulled over by a cop. Why are you drinking and running, ma'am? It's not whiskey, officer. It's syrup.
Now you have a market of 10 people that would love, love.
I know,
Bring
right?
some to our workshop.
Yeah, they're running now. We're tapping.
Wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
Beth, there was a question about limes too.
Lyme. Okay. All right. Lyme disease. Chronic Lyme, I'm assuming. Yes. Okay. Chronic Lyme is really tough. And so one of the people that's closest to me in the whole world, it has chronic Lyme, and she runs marathons. And it's a constant battle of, okay, am I overtraining or am I having a Lyme flare up? Okay, is this a problem or am I like getting the flu or is it a Lyme flare up? Right? Yeah. So you have to do like 3 times as many. You need all the tools, right? You got to do the basics. The basics are a necessity, and then all the tools are going to be the most helpful for your recovery. One of the biggest things to fight against is inflammation. So there's a few things for inflammation that can be, sorry if you can hear that. My kid is running around with like this jingly bell thing. Oh, there she's going. Okay. There was like this tinkle bell in the background, and I was like, oh my God, get out of here. So dietary wise, gluten-free, dairy-free, cutting down red meat. Anything artificial is going to really be an issue for you. And then there are certain things that can help your system in general just to have somewhat regularly, like supporting your liver, making sure your liver is working well. Like a daily cleanse of the liver is going to be really helpful always. Phytonutrients are key. Spirulina, like having a serving of that every day. Chlorophyll. I really want to do the quote from Billy Madison, but I'm afraid you guys aren't old enough for it. Chlorophyll, more like borophyll, right? Oh my God. I have to say that every time I talk about chlorophyll. But some of those phytonutrients are like those are the extra things that you need. And then really making sure you're watching your stress levels. If you're working out too much, backfire. It will backfire super hard on your system, and wipe you down, and then you have to rebuild up again, even get back to normal. So branch chains are going to be essential. Protein is going to be essential. And then there is one more thing. This is a repair product. This is just chock full of anti-inflammatories, which I really, really love. So Oh yeah. So there's collagen, tart cherry, turmeric, things like that. Collagen is going to be good, right? Collagen helps repair some of the things. Collagen is not a substitute for protein. Like, oh, what protein? It's collagen. Nope, not a substitute. Collagen is not a complete protein, so it's not going to repair that muscle tissue. It's a booster, but not a complete protein. But the tart cherry and turmeric, fantastic anti-inflammatories. So like every day on a regular basis. Whereas for somebody else, I'd be like, oh, are you just, did you have a really tough workout, or when you lift really heavy? Sure, do the anti-inflammatory things. But for you, every day, you're going to be constantly putting out this inflammation fire every day. Yeah. So with all of the things. Is that helpful? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It's a lot, I know, and it can be frustrating to try and manage all the time. So, so the next thing I was going to kind of reference is that, again, so longer than this workouts or shorter than this workouts? Where do you fall? How do you manage all that other stuff? For somebody with chronic Lyme, I would say even if you're only doing a 15 or 20-minute workout, you're going to want, I mean, you don't necessarily need to do a pre-workout for that, right? But you're going to want to do all the recovery things after that. Any type of, and oftentimes just on an everyday basis anyway. Meaning, oh, if I do a workout that day and then should I take another serving at night? Yeah. Really fight the inflammation. So that's really, really important. If you don't have chronic Lyme and you're like, well, we just went for a walk, or I only did this like 15-minute, booty blast YouTube video or something. I don't know. There probably is a YouTube video called Booty Blast. I've not seen it. Just saying. Do you need to do all the things? Probably not, right? Like your system can probably handle that. But the other thing to realize is that as you get into this, and if you're like, okay, I'm going to add all these things in, I'm going to start this routine, go me. Yes. I want you to think about longer phases of time. And this is something, Brooks trained people and done all that too, but there's going to be like a 3 to 6 month time frame where you're going to realize if you work out consistently for 3 months, you're going to up your fitness level. Okay, then for the next 3 months, up your fitness level. The next 3 months, up your fitness level. So for women, and especially working with our hormones over those 3-month spans of time, realize that the amount of time that it takes you to warm up might be longer. You can still do a 30-minute workout, but you're going to need 15 minutes to warm up because your body's getting more fit, right? It just is changing. So realize that some of the parameters are going to shift, and that as you start to get more fit, athletes always train in phases and cycles. You have a preseason, a season, and a postseason. And you never do just, oh, I'm going to the gym and I do the same, type of workout, time frame of workout all year long, because that doesn't actually increase your fitness. So think of it in a way of, I'm increasing my fitness and I'm allowing more time for that. And maybe you get to a point where you're like, you know what, I'm okay with my fitness level. Okay. But there still has to be sort of a downtime, which means then you would need to shift and focus more on the recovery. My fitness is okay. I got to focus more time on my recovery then. So that's more helpful for long-term stuff. And then again, if you're training longer distances, doing Ironmans, doing triathlons, doing marathons, all that stuff, these tools come into play big time for performance. These tools come into play big time for like achieving better times and upping everything else. So really sticking with getting those sugars in those time frames. Yeah.
There's another question about, well, you can read that there. And Cass, feel free to, okay,
Sorry,
feel free to.
I just asked the second question more so with what you're kind of just saying. So yeah, I guess I've been consistent for about 4 months, like same diet, same workouts, but like increasing in strength and feeling fine. And then like the last month, feel like it's all I can do to get myself to the gym. And then being there, I can't finish the normal reps of even like the lower weights. And notice that like my clothes feel a little bit tighter and know that like the scale kind of fluctuates, and just I don't really know if that's like adrenal fatigue, and but my sleep schedule has been a mess for a year, so everything like has felt kind of consistent, but then this last month I'm just not quite sure what might be causing some of these symptoms.
Okay. Yeah. So one of the first things would be like, are you getting enough protein?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
love protein.
Okay. So getting enough protein, and then this also may just be a phase where your body is like, I need more recovery.
Okay.
Like, I don't need more weight, I need more recovery. Otherwise, your fitness level will start to go down. You won't be able to keep pushing it. You won't be able to keep getting to the next level, to the next level. Your body's going to say, nope, I need more recovery. And it's just going to bring it on down. It's a really scary thing though, too, to think about, oh my gosh, I might work out less or less intense and recover more. Won't that make me gain more weight? But if you're working with the cortisol levels properly, you would recover better. So that's where I would say recover, work with that inflammation, because that is an underlying, adrenal issue. Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
So, along with that, like, what do you recommend for managing cortisol levels? And then in like when you're saying recovery, is that like, do I just switch to walking, or like literally don't exercise, or have more recovery time after an exercise?
So tell me about your workouts. Like, do you go to a class? Do you have like a personal trainer?
It's just been following like a uh, weight. So like shoulders and chest on day 1, legs day 2, back day 3, and then like having 1 or 2 days off. Occasionally, one of those days I'll do like low intensity, um, like stair steppers or incline walking on the treadmill.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is the yeah, your body's um this is so phases and stuff of, health, fitness, everything else that kind of build up.
Mhm.
You're going to be able to do that for, a few months. Like, that's a lot of weights to go to, right? And then I'm adding cardio and everything on top of that. So once you get to the max level there, you have to do like a reset, and your body's going to make you do it before you can move on to another level of it, before you can up level to even harder weights, heavier weights, anything else. So that's where being fatigued, not being able to do the regular workout, I mean, you can work out still. It would have to be decreasing the time of it or decreasing the number of days,
Okay.
and then just do other movements and really see how your body responds to that. So it's going to be still just as valuable to do, 30 minutes of yoga stretches, because you're getting movement in, you're getting, blood flow, all that stuff. Your muscles are still getting used. They're just not getting worn out.
Mm.
Right now they're getting too worn out, and it's fatiguing your system.
Okay.
Yeah. 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 And then use enough tools. Still make sure, like, you're still going to need this. You're still going to need all the after tools, because that's that inflammation period. The after and the recovery is going to be super important to have that on point every time.
Okay.
Yeah. That's a good question though.
That's what that would like a guideline for that, because Cass, I kind of do that too, like 8-week or 10-week build-ups and then a month off. Is there like guideline for that, Beth? If someone's consistent, is it like a month kind of downshifting until you ramp back up?
Yeah, at least. Yeah. Yeah, it's not, and especially the female body, and even when we're training, right? We're not meant to be in peak performance all the time. That's not, that's why like athletes have a preseason, a season, and a postseason. And then they cycle it around again, right? I mean, when we were in high school, it was like, oh look, I play all the sports. Yay. Well, nobody knew what they were doing. But as your body gets older and more sensitive and has those inflammatory responses, and you're battling that stress, it really is okay. If you're going to push yourself, think about, okay, I literally will go back to some of the best coaches that I had and some of the training stuff that I did, we would train really hard for like 2 months, and then our season would start, and during our season it was very different. We might have like tournaments or something that we'd have some higher performance days, you know, but if we had like a game on the weekend, you know, we would have maybe a harder practice on a Monday and a Tuesday, but Wednesday, Thursday, Friday wouldn't be tough practices because you had to have your body ready to go by Saturday. You had to be like peak at Saturday. And that's not how we all work out, right? The 2 months before that time frame, I'd be killing myself every day, right? Like that's, you know, you bust it out. But then all of a sudden during season, it would be, you know, 2 or 3 months of only, you know, 2 to 3 tough days a week, when the other days would be just, yeah, I get we do practice or we do workout or whatever, but we wouldn't be killing ourselves. And then postseason was even more of a downshift. There was at least a solid month of, okay, I'm working out just enough to maintain my muscle and everything, but I'm really focused on the repair and recovery of everything. And then we'd get back into it for spring season, and it'd be 2 months of beast mode in the gym, and then you go from there. Wow. So that's, I mean, if you're, I mean, there's lots of workout programs and stuff out there. The hard thing is, unless you're working with a trainer that knows these things or somebody who's familiar with this style of overall like long-term body recovery, they're just not going to mention it, you know, and they'll just be like, oh, come to the gym, come to our class, blah, blah, blah.
I had been working with someone and they had like a deload week worked in.
Okay.
And then like revving back up. But so then when I stopped working with them, like I just continued basically the same program and would just like slowly increase on my own, but I haven't implemented any deload weeks.
Yeah, you need some deload weeks. See, those are so important.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome.
That's
Anyone else have questions? Anyone else have questions you want to get addressed or post in the, you can just say them or you can post them in the chat thread. Is this helpful to have just like on a consistent basis? Checking in. It's awesome.
Yeah, well, I guess my other question with that too then, and I don't know if you did answer this, but like vitamins and minerals that you recommend we take on a consistent basis.
Yeah. Take them. What's the third? Okay, I'll put them right here. So a multivitamin, probiotic. I have 5, the magic 5. Can you guys still see this written here?
Yeah, it's hard to see the writing, the color.
Oh,
maybe if I make
the
you
color.
Big.
Tried to be fancy for a second. It didn't work out for me. Okay. That's okay. 1, a multivitamin. That's key. You know, you get what you pay for here. I'll just say that. If you're taking a good one, you should notice a difference. If you're not taking a good, like don't take one from Walmart. I'd rather you not take one than take one from Walmart. Those are not, right? Okay. Probiotic, because we all need gut health. Fish oil. Again, you get what you pay for. Lots of omegas, all the things. But again, I'd rather have you not take one than take one from Sam's Club or something, or Walmart. Nope. 4 would be vitamin D. That's really, really important, especially living in Minnesota. We all need more vitamin D. And then adaptogens. And those are really key. So other things to think about too in this I mean, and this may be like a whole nother hour segment that we talk about just adaptogens, different kinds, different types for mental stress, for physical stress, for inflammation repair, all those other things. There's different ones that you can tailor and tweak. Oh my gosh, my libido sucks right now and I'm super stressed out. Yeah, what do I do? Yeah, adaptogens, baby. Yes, the world will be fixed by adaptogens. But getting at least I use regularly a great adaptogen blend that's liquid, and I just add it to my morning shake. And a lot of times I'll have an additional serving at night because I have 3 kids, and helps really just release the stress from my system beautifully. So I don't struggle with it. I don't fight with it. And I'm getting a blend of a lot of things at once. And it makes a big difference when I take this. If for some reason I run out or don't take it regularly, holy cow, do I notice that increased stress response. So any type of inflammation, any type of cortisol stress issue, adaptogens will help you turn around literally 3 times as fast with having them in your system. And you need to make sure you're getting a therapeutic dose. I have seen so many products out there. They're like, oh, this has an adaptogen in it. Oh, there's a supplement and blah, blah, blah. There's ashwagandha. Great. And I look at how much is in there and I'm like, this is not enough of a dose for it to actually work on your system. It's just like the branched chain amino acids. You can't take half of it and expect it to work. It's either enough to work or it doesn't do anything. Okay. Yes. Where would you find adaptogens? They have them, kind of all over the place. Oh, look, I have one right here. Okay. They keep bottles around and stuff. So this is my favorite. Again, this is why I love this company, because they have a lot of things that align with how with the products I need, the tools I need to help me with my body. So this is their adaptogen blend. Comes in a liquid, so it's easily absorbed. There's wolfberry, which helps with overall cortisol stress. Ashwagandha, which helps with libido, hormone balance, and cortisol. There's also eleuthero, which helps with the physical stress, like stress from working out too much, stress from being fatigued, not having enough energy, stress. There's also bacopa in here, which helps with the mental stress. Schisandra, which also helps with libido. So that's why I like this. There's there's more in here too, right? But just a few of the things that I mentioned, there's specific adaptogens in here that are already in here at the therapeutic dose that really, really helps. So that's why I love this. If I happen to be going through something that I need extra, I'll take 2 servings of this, and maybe I'll add an additional of like an ashwagandha or something, because ashwagandha is also really good for thyroid, stuff like that. So yeah, but that's my favorite. Or you can buy them all individually, separately, and take a bazillion pills. But I just get the liquid and literally I chug it. My bottle. Yeah. Helpful? Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, okay. But I could do a whole thing on it. This is like a whole world of beneficial herbs that are really common in other parts of the world, just not here necessarily. But they're amazing. When you're getting the right thing in at the right dosage, it changes a lot. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay.
Can you hear me? I'm just sharing in our membership site. I did a video actually with Beth about nutrition support. So that's in there. So I'm sharing that in our Facebook page. If you're like, oh, there's a lot of stuff, and if you just want to streamline that and essentially the links to the stuff, I'll share that. Yeah, so it's good. Any other questions? Probiotics. Yeah, so that would, probiotics, adaptogens, that video would answer those questions. Yeah. And I'm very picky about what I use. Like I'm a chiropractor. So in the state of Minnesota, I'm a primary care physician, and I can get my hands on any nutraceutical out there. And I get approached all the time by different companies, by companies that, have good products. I'm not saying like there's not other good products. There are.
but in terms of ease, convenience, and having a full array of the tools that I use, this company has like 95% of the tools that I use. 95% of them. That's why I'm like, this is just easier. It's just easier to get all my stuff from one place. You know, my kids like the bars, great. You know, it's just, it makes it much easier for me. That doesn't mean that I don't order anything else, right? Like other tools that I use, I get stuff from other companies too, for sure. But this is why some people are like, oh my God, you're only going to use that one company. Well, for most of it, yeah, because it's so much easier and they're not going to change their formulas. And I'm always going to trust them. They're never going to sell out to a bigger company because I've had that happen to me before. I'm gluten-free. I cannot have gluten at all. I was using a brand, this was a while ago, but I was using a brand of like granola bar. And all of a sudden I started getting really sick. Because of course I bought like a bunch of boxes of it. And then I went and looked and I was like, well, son of a, they changed the formula. They got bought, and I researched it. They got bought out by a bigger company and they changed the formula and they snuck a little bit of gluten in there because it was a little bit cheaper. And that's why. But so I only like to use companies that I can trust that are going to have a clean formula that I don't have to worry about. Yeah, with dietary restrictions, it makes it way easier.
Yeah.
But if you have another brand that you love, awesome. And if you can if you want to piece together all the things in a different way, awesome. You know.
Yeah. And let us know. Like post in the Facebook group if you find other things that you like and that you want us to look at. I absolutely love that. And that, to be clear, this is not about selling more stuff or selling products. Legit, no. It's the same price as any other high quality product. Yeah, it's just Beth has done the research, and so that's why we use it too. So if you have questions, great. If you find other stuff you love, great.
Tried to make my own protein at one point. I was working with a formulator. That was
crazy.
Yeah, that was a trip, I tell you. But anyway, yeah.
Awesome. Well, we are past an hour, so super good. I'll say if there is like leftover questions, please email me or post in our Facebook group, and we'll get you the answers for that. But should we have Beth on again next month or in a few weeks? Okay. Yes. Woohoo! All right,
more
Beth.
talking.
Yes. Thank you. I seriously learn something every time. Every time I hear you speak. It's amazing. So thank you.
What was it this time? Was it about
I'm trying
blood?
To think. The what?
The blood in the gut?
No, I think it was some about like inflammation.
Oh, yeah.
When you were talking about, have you ever worked out for a long time and you're like puffy all day? I'm like, oh my gosh, that's my life. Especially, you know, in the past, like, you know, I can see looking back. Mm-hmm. So yeah, inflammation, big deal. Anything we can do to jade roller, yes. That was my yes. Next month, yeah, and everyone else.
Next month, everybody's gonna be like, "Oh my god, I'm like so much younger."
Yes, that was a big one. I'll let you know, but there was few things I'm like, oh dang, or just like all these things for all of us. Like you learn it, and then you go implement it, and then you tweak a little bit, and then you implement it. So it's just all the slight edge things. It's like layers. You never just get it and like you're good. It just you layer one thing at a time, and so we can always up level. That's why I love what we're doing here because it's so holistic. So, okay, awesome, Beth. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll see you Sunday. Beth, you're free to head out if you need to go. We're just gonna do a few housekeeping things. So, okay. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me on.
Woo-hoo.
Bye, guys.
See you soon. And yeah, everyone else, we have our workshop this Sunday. Yes, Sunday, another live workshop. It's going to be epic. Literally, it's going to be a lot of aha moments for you. So we'll have Heidi there, and she'll have an assistant with her. We're going to be doing our story workshop. It's going to be super in depth. And it's going to give you a lot of clarity of not only where you were, where you're headed, specifically what experience, what problem do you solve in the marketplace for those of you who have this entrepreneurial thing, this message thing that you want to share. It's going to be a key for really propelling us into this program. So I also want to encourage you to get into your membership sites, right? I know that life is full. It can be challenging to like just stay in there. But now we're starting to dig into some of this work where we actually can start to do the work of getting clear and putting things into action. So this Sunday will be a great catalyst for that. 12 to 3 as always. If you guys have any other questions, please let me know, but I'm really looking forward to that time to see you all face to face. And yeah, I think that's it. So good. It was helpful to have Beth on here.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Then we'll keep doing that. And we'll continue to have like Heidi, when she comes and does a live workshop, she'll be on then. Probably actually the next week to like have, follow-up questions and process through together. So it won't always just be us on these calls. We'll make sure to continue to bring those other people in. So awesome. Let me know if there's ways I can serve you guys throughout the week, and we'll look forward to seeing you Sunday. Cool.
Yeah, sounds good.
Leah, do you have something?
I was gonna say I haven't been in the module yet for this week. Is there homework that we need for the workshop this weekend?
Great question. Yes. Yes, there is a little bit of pre-work,
Okay.
and that's in the week 3.
Okay.
It's already uploaded. Yeah, so great question. I don't think it should take you too much time, but yeah. And again, if you absolutely couldn't get to it, you'll be fine too. But if you really want to maximize that workshop, I encourage you to just take a look at that so you can kind of start to wrap your head around that. Yeah, great question.
Okay.
Awesome. All right, ladies, have a great rest of your week. I love you all, praying for you all, cheering for you all. We'll see you Sunday. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.